It is Friday, aka game day eve, hitting the road again. So listen, I had to break out the number 10 joint. Look, I bought this joint back in '06. The crispy white number 10. And guess who inspired this purchase back in '06? You guess in the chat who inspired it. Now, fast forward, we got a young hot QB rocking the same number, about to hit the road. Do me a favor, y'all. Hit that like button if you have not already. Hit subscribe if you have not already. If you have not already, why not? You here every night. Go ahead and hit that. Hit the bell for notifications when we go live on your devices. And we're going to talk about our final thoughts on this game at Illinois Buckeyes. Since the last time I've been on, I've been watching, thinking, processing, and I'm going to have my score prediction. And I'm looking forward to it tonight. But also remember, when you send those wonderful super chats, first of all, super chats from this chat is next level because you're so bright, you're so smart, you guys know ball. It's the best chat in the world. It just makes the show even better, your questions and comments. So kudos to y'all for that. But remember, they help go towards the pay it forward, which is the military and our first responders. You know we're going to look out for them because they always look out for us. And I'm going to bring in the good brother, the Reverend Dr. Nevada Buck. What's up, brother?
Now, B, I didn't know they made like those half-shirt jerseys, like the 70s thing there or something like that, or you used to put on weight since '06 when you bought that thing. You know, so B's not showing. He's just showing from the chest above. He ain't showing that thing down there in the belly and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I should stand up a little bit, but but yeah, this is 20 what? Yeah, almost 20 years
it still fits, man. B, you are still in game shape, man. You are amazing. You are a specimen, man. B Moses is a specimen.
Yeah, I was a lot more spry back in '06. You talk about dunking on cats and routing cats up. I was still on it. Ask the streets, ask the Columbus streets, they'll tell you. But yeah, man, that's funny. I was like, ooh, let me break this out. But eventually, I'm probably gonna frame this joint. I'm gonna slap it in a frame with glass and put it on my wall, just as a memento. Because this has traveled far and away. So don't let me down saying I need 350 tomorrow and 3 tutties since I'm rocking this jersey. But either way. Yeah.
Yeah, number 10. I mean, what a great number, what a classic number. And yeah, I mean, nobody wore it better than Troy, that's for sure. Yeah. Man. He was the Wolverine killer, and he was a guy that when he was back to quarterback, you know, no matter what happened, he just always had faith that he was going to get it done. You know what I mean? He delivered so many times in so many tough situations, and yeah, one of my all-time favorites for sure. But we've got a new Wolverine killer, I think, coming up in Julian saying, because Julian's you know, he's a lot like Troy in terms of that they're not, neither one of those guys was like 6'6" or something like that.
Right.
You know, smaller guys, big arms, spun the ball really well. So yeah, you know, a lot alike, play a lot alike, and hopefully they have similar success.
And one more Troy Smith insane connection I want to highlight. And I posted it on my socials, and the post blew up. A lot of haters. It's funny, Nevada, the stuff that attracts haters. I just be like, when I post it, I'm like, oh, okay, let me post it. Here comes the haters. I was just like out of nowhere.
No, but B, I got a question for you. Yeah. You've been doing this long enough. You know, when are you surprised, or do you know, like when you're putting out there, it's like, you know, when you put it out there, when you type it up, aren't you kind of going, oh, this is going to bring him in, or are you still surprised?
It depends. Like there's some posts where I know I'm like, okay, here comes the trolls. But there's some posts where I'm just like, I just kind of posted ho hum, unassuming, and it's just like, y'all mad over this? So it depends. I get surprised every now and then because it just doesn't cease to amaze me that the level of hater that Buckeye Nation has. It's like once I feel like I got a good grasp on the level of hater, they just confound me once again. But for this one, this is Troy Smith on Twitter. Okay. He said, gotta talk about straight facts. If the kid at Texas would have had the start that Julian Sand is having here for our Buckeyes, he'd be first in the Heisman votes or Davey O'Brien talks. and any other major awards at the end of the season. Put some respect on what he's doing. So Troy Smith, the legend, the number 10 legend, is putting it on for the current number 10 and future legend, Julian Sand. And yeah, 5,200 reactions, 406 comments, 319 shares, and the views are just out of control. But it's a lot of, I mean, you got LSU fans, Miami fans, Buckeye fans, Michigan fans, just coming in to you ain't play nobody, but you ain't play nobody. That's the biggest troll comment from them. But anyway, I don't want to derail the topic of the show. It's just funny, Nevada.
No, no, but it's. I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, that would surprise me because that seems like an uncontroversial take, right?
Right,
Like that's like kind of common sense, and people can say what they want about the schedule, but it's like really, people played a tougher out of conference game than Texas. I
right.
mean, like
Or at Washington, a
or
good
at
offense.
Washington. Yeah, no, I mean it's kind of funny how one thing I've noticed throughout years is like I've always felt that you should get credit for where teams are ranked when you play them, okay? Because if you beat them, they fall and they become less thing,
Right,
right? So by definition, teams gonna be lower ranked after you play them because you beat them and they fall down. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they used to do. The thing about the schedule, the record against top five opponents. And I'm like, well, if you're in the top five, say we're two and you're playing four and you beat four, well, four is not a top five opponent anymore. They fall out of the top five.
right.
So that one doesn't count. And it's like that never made any sense to me. I've always thought, and when we played Texas, Texas was supposed to be the cat's meow, right? They were it. They were the bee's knees. They were that Arch Manning. I saw more than one mock draft with him as number one pick in the
Oh
draft.
Lord.
The best defense in the country, revenge tour, Sarkeesian. I mean, all the stuff, and now they're hot garbage, and it's like,
Right.
I mean, they're still Texas. They're still going to make noise in the SEC. I'm telling you what. So, yeah, but yeah, that's surprising that seemingly incontrovertible take right there is getting any pushback because that seems like the most non-controversial thing in the world.
Exactly. Now I knew it was good. I mean, listen, there's people just love to hate and troll, but this, I mean, like they came out the woodworks to hate. So exactly, I was a little surprised by that. And yet, and Texas is still number 13 in total defense. So
Yeah.
even though Arch is failing and the offense is a disappointment, the defense is still a very good defense. So this rebuttal against saying not playing anybody doesn't hold water. He played against Texas is still a really good defense, regardless if their offense is failing. Is my point. Like, it's saying versus the defenses he's playing. And then, of course, on the road at Washington, with the toughest environment ever, according to all pundits, and he passes the test there. It's just like, but it's cool. We're going to keep on winning Nevada, and they're going to keep on hating. That's just the story of our Buckeye lives, Nevada.
Well, B, you gave away your score prediction there. You're saying Ohio State's going to win against Illinois, man. I thought we had like the real cliffhanger. I thought B was going to drop the upsets, the Appalachian State upset special on us or something like that. But B, just so you guys know, B would not tell me his score prediction. I was like, hey B, can you tell me your score prediction? She's like, I'm not telling you. I'm like, can I please have a score prediction? Nope, not going to tell you. Not going to tell you to the show. So he's been holding out all day on me, man. And so I don't know what he's going to do. He's unpredictable. And I'm not sure where he's going to come down at. See,
Suspense.
I put my thing on the Buckeye Scoop website, put out there
You
people
did.
that had a chance out there to see it. But B is being pretty cagey. So this could be it's gonna be news for me as well.
Yep. Yep. So, I've been, after being utterly rebuked by our chat a few days ago for even suggesting that we need to be prepared for this game, I went back and watched some film and looked at some stats and pondered and sat in my rocking chair and pondered with my pipe. So yeah, I definitely have a score prediction and some thoughts, and we can get into it. So Nevada, today's Friday. We are less than 24 hours from game time. Before we get into anything, where are you right now with this game? You can give your score now if you want to, or you can just give your thoughts of your feeling. Because sometimes when you're heading towards a game, you may feel differently on Friday than you did on Tuesday. And so Where are you right now?
Well, this is a classic one where everything that I know, and I'm talking about every bit of information that I have about the team, about the quality of the preparation this week, about the game plan, about the relative health of the team, about the matchups, about our strengths versus their weaknesses and their strengths versus our weaknesses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The weather, the crowd. I mean, everything put into the blender there. And I've got Ohio State should win handily. Should just take care of business and crush Illinois. But my score prediction is Ohio State 31, Illinois 17. Because I just can't get past this nagging feeling that I have that we always seem to have one of those games, and I just have a feeling it could be this one. That Illinois got enough, that their coach is good enough, their quarterback's experienced enough, the stadium's wonky enough. It's an 11 a.m. start, which is just weird. It's 11 a.m. And that doesn't sound like a big deal, but players are creatures of habit, and just everything about going to Champaign just seems like it's a little bit off, and sometimes things go wrong. Bad calls are made, bad reviews happen. The other team plays over their head, and they manage to keep it, closer than you would hope for. But I just want to, be truth be told, that is nothing based upon information. That is strictly my fears and insecurities speaking.
Yeah.
So my information is we should roll through these guys, and I think we had a great week. We're not complacent. We're playing a ranked opponent, so they're not. The team's not taking them lightly. Ryan seems to have struck the right chord. I like the game plan. I like the approach. Health wise, we're pristine in terms of health. So there's no reason for this game to be close, but I'm predicting a close game. And I just really hope that I'm wrong. And I really hope that the next time that we're together, that we just have a big laugh on Nevada for question. Because I picked Ohio State to win and obviously cover the first 5 weeks of the season, and they've won and covered every game. This one, for whatever reason, I can't get there, but it's not based upon information. It's just it's post Illinois stress disorder or whatever I want to call it,
Yeah.
based upon previous times going to Champaign and just not playing well. And I know that shouldn't have anything to do with it, but that's where I'm at.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And I've been processing through all of that as well. The Brett Bielema, Illinois, Champagne weirdness. Listen, we've pounded them plenty of times. It's just those few times that we've struggled that kind of haunt you a little bit. But yeah, so I've been evaluating this. Went back and watched their Purdue game, watched a little bit of other footage from their games, and looked at some stats. I mean, so here's some things that jumped out to me. I'm just going to share. First of all, their pass defense is not good. Now, remember, I said this early this week. I said their secondary is food, but I didn't understand just how tasty their secondary was. Illinois pass defense is 113th nationally, and they're missing their best DB, Xavier Scott. He's out. They're dead last in the conference passing defense. So that's a problem. That is a absolute problem versus this Buckeye team. Okay. Also, let me see. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with that for now. I don't want to move on just yet. But that right there is a problem. Okay. So my question that's more rhetorical for this team is we've had a test at Washington. They let him loose against Minnesota. Are they going to let him loose against Illinois, or are we going to come out there with 12 personnel, pound it, be safe, efficient, safest way to win type thing? I'm curious to know if that Minnesota game was a tell that saying is going to be able to sling it on the road. And it's got to be tempting, Nevada, with this defense. They see this defense on film, and listen, they blitz a lot. They're a man team, and they blitz a ton. Their blitz numbers are high. I mean, so it's like, to me, it's right there for the taking. If we execute, protect, and just do our jobs, we could really light this defense up. Now, just like other teams have done, like Washington, for example, play a lot of man. They might throw a lot of zone in there and try to throw Sand off. That's fine. But I'm just curious, Nevada, with this secondary being so terrible, are we going to attack or are we going to go in safe? What you think? What's your gut feeling right now?
Well, I mean, the game plan is to attack, and I can tell you that that's what they've been practicing all week. The question is, Ryan in some situations has been pretty conservative and has buttoned it up, and that always is something that nags at me in the back of my head. When you're making the bullish case for Ohio State, I mean, it's hard to get around the fact that Illinois gave up 60 to Indiana, but throw that game out, throw that game out and go, okay, that was just a bad night. Okay,
Mm,
we agree that's just bad night.
sure.
They gave up 32 to USC and 27 to Purdue.
Yeah. And
You know,
300
you know,
yards passing to Purdue, too.
to Purdue. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
it's like for Ohio State, man, if you're talking about, hey, let's win the surest way, I would submit to you the win the surest way thing is to let Jalen Sane and his 80.2% completion thing go back and throw the ball to JJ Smith and Carnell Tate. You know what I'm saying?
touche.
I mean, right? I mean, like it's not like the running game is without risk. The running game, they can stop you. They can overload you. You can fumble. You can get holding. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. If you keep the game close. And the Washington game, it ended up 24-6 and everything like that. But it was 7-3 at halftime. It was 3-0 with
Yeah.
2 minutes to go in the second quarter. So I just, I really hope that, Ryan Day takes advantage of this 70-degree, 6-mile-an-hour winds, which is nothing, perfect weather
Especially for
a-
Champagne.
for Champagne, and just lets Julian go. Because I totally agree with you. This team can be absolutely had, through the air. And they're down a punt, so they're not even as good as they were, being, missing their best defensive back. So I know they've been practicing it. I know they're going, and if Ohio State goes fast, comes out throwing, I mean, they should hang a 50 spot on these guys. They really truly should. Um, I hope they do it. I really hope they do it. I want to see Ryan do that one time in a road game before I am convinced, because
Yeah.
we only play 4 road games. The first one, he certainly did not do that. Oh, the second half was a little bit more aggressive against Washington, but that
Yeah.
first half, was so buttoned up. It kept us. I mean, look, it kept us at 24 points. So, we've only scored 24 points at Washington. Is it crazy that we only scored 31 against Illinois? Probably not crazy. So I want to see Ryan open it up, because if we open it up, it's nighty night for Illinois, because they can't guard our guys.
Very true. What's the spread right now?
Uh,
Do
I
you know?
I I, I want to say 14 and a half, but I can check and get you an exact spread here. 1 second, hold
Okay.
on.
Okay. Got you. And then while you're doing that, I will also add on the flip side, Illinois is 125th in the country in pass protection efficiency. They've given up 19 sacks in 6 games. So our D line should eat. It's just, I'm seeing stuff not only on film, but statistically that just is like, yo, if we come out and execute and play, we should be able to handle business.
Yeah,
And then I'll go ahead. You
it's
got it?
14 and a half.
14 and a half. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So you have them barely not covering.
correct. I have them not covering by half a point. Correct.
Got you. All right. And then also I have a question. Will number 80, the receiver Beatty, that rhymes, have over 50 yards? That's a question. We shut down Boston for Washington. Beatty's their big play receiver. Will he have over 50 yards? I don't think he is, because they don't have anybody else that they can really make us pay with, so to speak. What you think? You think Beatty will have over 50? I guess it's possible if if they force feed him.
Yeah, I think they're going to be throwing a lot. I mean, I think they're going to be throwing a lot, because I think if they get behind, they're going to have to throw. Now, clearly, that's not going to be their game plan. Their game plan is going to want to be, they're going to want to run the ball, control the clock, shorten the game. I mean, that's what they're going to want to do, and have Altmaier hit some passes on third down and keep the chains moving and run around, and that's going to be the game plan. So it's really going to be a good it's going to be a good chess match between Matt Patricia and the defense and a veteran quarterback in Illinois. And it's one thing to fool Arch Manning, who was relatively inexperienced. Um, but Almar's seen it all. I mean, he's seen a lot, played a lot of games, and so this is going to be a different kind of challenge for Ohio State, and we'll see how they're up for it.
Yep, I agree. And so I'm going to give my score prediction. I'm also going to say this is going to be Brandon Ennis' first touchdown. He's going to score. So there's that. Also, my score prediction based off of everything I just said, I'm going to go 38-13. Okay. So how I see it is this: Illinois scores, they get a field goal in the first quarter, and then they score a touchdown in the 2 minute before half. And then in the second half, they muster up 3 more points. So 38-13 Ohio State in this game. And yeah, I feel pretty good. I definitely think this could end up being a 45-10, 45-9 type of game. I think that's very possible, but I'm going with 38-13 Nevada.
So B Moses he's saying to all you gamblers, he is guaranteeing your money. So go out there and bet. He is guaranteeing a victory, and wow, that's really amazing. That's very generous of you, B. I want to commend you on behalf of all the gamblers out there. And now look, it's hard to argue. Um, y- you know, I I mean that what you say makes perfect sense to me, and I just really hope that the game. I don't want to be frustrated by the game plan, and
Yeah.
Ryan. One of the things I've been arguing, all this offseason is that Ryan Day is kind of a different guy after winning the national championship, and he just seems different. He seems different. He's talking differently. People that are around him say that he's different. He seems way more relaxed, way more comfortable in his own skin, and they've been opening up the playbook for Julian, saying just slowly but steadily since the second half of the Washington game. Will it continue tomorrow? Will it continue tomorrow at 11 a.m.? I really hope. I hope the first play of the game's like they take the top off to Carnell Tate or throw. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like that. I just hope that they come out winging the ball because I mean Julian's an incredibly accurate passer. He's a rhythm passer. Get him going. We're really good at pass protection, and I want those guys on their heels because if you hit them with some passes, they start backing off. Then you start running the football.
Yep.
I really think I think that's the path for Ohio State. I think that's the way to make the running game even that much more effective against a much maligned Illinois defense. And but I think we're going to know quickly. I think we'll know in the first couple of possessions what kind of game it's going to be and what version of Ryan Day we're getting. Because if it's good Ryan and he's letting them go, then this certainly could get ugly.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we're going to see Bo Jackson go over 100 yards. I think it's not that he's going to run for 25 times. I think he's going to pop a big run and he's going to have over 100 yards. And so that's what I see. I just see that. And we'll be pleased with the running game, but we'll slice them up with the pass. But, they'll try to hold on to the ball a little bit. I know that they like to pass, but I can see Bielema with Wisconsin used to ball control a lot. He still has that in his blood. And I can see him trying to, mix that in a little bit to try to keep away a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see, man. Bielema, he's going to pull out all the stops. Listening to their media and their coverage guys, I mean, they're obviously saying, hey, this is huge, once in a lifetime, opportunity, blah, blah, blah. This is what Ohio State has to deal with every week in general, but especially with the number one spot. So, again, the key is come in out the gate executing. Ryan Day was talking about this energy. It's 11 a.m. start. He even mentioned that. He knows you got to come out there with energy in this environment and snatch their soul. You know what I mean? Like that's what you have to do. If we do that, it's a wrap. It's to me, if we do that, it's 45-48-10 or whatever. But if there's a little bit of a slow start, whatever, it's just might be a little frustrating, but we're going to win this game. No question. It's just the margin. And that's really the bottom line. So, and also we saw Kenyatta is supposed to be good to go. We'll see if he actually plays. but he should be good to go. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. Kenyatta apparently MRI negative, aggravated an old injury, but I think you're going to see him play with like a neck brace or neck roll or something like that, just kind of a precaution going forward. But he should be fully go. Which this far into the season, to be sitting here and knock on wood, but you know, relatively injury free. That's pretty consider
Yeah.
what we went through last year. Sometimes the injury carousel hits you really hard, and sometimes you can kind of avoid it. But the more reps that this offensive line can get, the more cohesive they can become. And I think we can avoid the injury bug at key spots. you know yeah, that's just great news for Ohio State. But we also have got incredible depth. So, you're talking about a team that, won the national championship last year, lost 14 guys to the draft, and as we talked about in the last pod, it's probably maybe a better team this year. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to be interested to see how they, if Peyton Pierce gets some more reps this week,
Oh yeah.
because they've been playing him a lot, especially in run sets right there. When they're trying to get like a three linebacker look where they're rolling Arvell up to the line of scrimmage and having Sonny and Peyton Pierce back in there. They've been doing a little bit more run blitzing, been working on that a little bit. The other thing I'm going to be really looking for this week is the swing pass to the running backs. You
Yes.
know, that is something that I think, especially, you mentioned earlier, which is a great point, how heavily Illinois is a blitz team. And if you have a back stay in, block momentarily, then swing out and just hit him, that's just easy pitch and
Yep.
catch. You've got a guy out there. Maybe he's all alone. Maybe he's got one guy to beat. And is Bo Jackson so good at making the first guy miss? Get him
Yes.
out there in the open field and have him kind of do his thing. I like that a lot. But they've been working on bringing those guys all the way out to the sidelines as an additional outlet as well, so that Julian's got another check down. And that's another thing that Ohio State did a great job last year with Will Howard. Will Howard last year, through 16 games, the toughest schedule ever, completed 73.4% of his passes last year. And I had compared that to the great Heisman Trophy year of RG3, where they were talking about how accurate RG3 was that year and how he barely didn't throw an incomplete pass, and his completion was like 72.8 or something like that. So, it shows you how thing. But the thing with Will Howard was them just convincing him just to take what's presented to him. I mean, you don't have to force every shot. You've got outlets. Now, Julian Saint's got the outlet of, you know, not only elite tight end play. We've talked about how good our tight end play is, but now you're going to start activating the running backs as a
Oh
potential
yeah.
outlet as well. I mean, I just think it's gonna, I'm not saying his completion percentage is gonna go up from 80.2, but Julian's, as precise as he is, and you're giving him actually more weapons and more options and more things to throw to. I mean, watch out. In a team like Illinois, who doesn't, they're very weak against the pass. And
Yeah.
that's, tomorrow could be I mean, we talked about when is Julian Saint start making his move up the Heisman thing? Well, it could be tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah.
tomorrow could be a big game for him. And I hope it is. I hope that, I hope he throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns tomorrow, but that absolutely could happen. So stay tuned.
Yep. Good point about the screens to the running backs, and the swing passes to the running backs. The good thing about our backs, and listen, I know Peoples hasn't lit the word on fire, but he can catch. Him and Donaldson can catch. They all can catch. But Bo Jackson makes guys miss in open field. And so that can really, really be deadly if we can do that, because that's one thing they don't talk about Bo Jackson enough. Like, he catches the ball cleanly. And how many times have we seen him make a guy miss in a phone booth? I mean, like cutting on a dime as soon as he catches it to pick up 5 or 10 more yards. So that's very, very key. And then, if it's blocked up, people can scoot a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a dangerous thing, for them to really bring the heat, and not break that tendency. And so, we're going to see what old Burt Bielema pulls out his hat, on tomorrow. But I wanted to, before we get to super chats, I wanted to pull up a few games this week and quickly talk about that. But did you have a response to that last comment, Nevada?
Well, no, and I just think that I mean Ohio State. Look for Ohio State to use the Illinois defense's aggression against them.
Yeah.
They're going to try to use that against them. They're going to try to reverse them. They're going to try to counter them. They're going to try to screen them. They're expecting Illinois to throw the house at them. And if they catch them in the right thing and they do that, I expect you'll run a couple times to the right and then you'll fake it and reverse JJ around the other side, and
Yeah.
that could go for big yardage. So watch for that. That certainly is a big key for me.
Yep, or the throwback tight end type screens that we like to run with Claire. I could see that happening as well. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. All right. I'm also excited about these other games. So let's go through them real quick. Not all of them, maybe, but a few of them, starting with Indiana at Oregon. And chat, I want y'all's participation in this. Does Indiana have a legit shot to go to Oregon and win this game? Does anybody believe that? Nevada, do you?
I actually do. I actually
Okay.
do believe. I believe they've got a shot. I think it's going to be a. I think it's going to be a hell game. I think it's going to be like. I think it's going to be, you know, 28-27 or something like that. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. I think it's going to be a relatively high scoring affair, back and forth, and I think Indiana's legit. I think their quarterback's legit. The transfer from Cal, we've talked about, completed over 70% of his passes at Cal of all places,
Right.
and I think that I think that Signetti's got these guys going, and I think they'll be able to. Oregon's not as good as they were last. Oregon's really good, but they're not as good as they were last year. And Dante, their quarterback situation's good, but he's not Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel was really really good last year, and their wide receivers were really really good, and defensively, I thought they had some guys that could play as well. So no, I think it's going to be a great game. I think Oregon pulls it out and wins in a squeaker, but I think Indiana definitely has a chance and is in it to the very end.
I've been going back and forth about this. First of all, I want Indiana to win. Because I told y'all, like Oregon is just on my bad side after just dealing with their fans. They're just ridiculous fans, fronting like they blue bloods and never won a ship. Like, how dare you, idiot? And so last year just really turned me sour with their fans. So yes, hold that L. I really want them to. I just don't know if Indiana, if it was at Indiana, I may call the I don't want, yeah, I technically upset since they're the lower ranked team. It's a top 10 matchup. But going out to Oregon and beating them, I just don't know. I just don't know. I can see a close loss, maybe by like 6 to 9 point loss at Oregon. That's just how I see it. I don't know. I hope Indiana pulls it out because I would love for Oregon to lose. But and then the other thing is I don't know exactly how good Oregon is. I know they went to Penn State in a tough environment and won. I mean, but we do that. That's our birthright, going to Happy Valley and beating them in tough environments. And so I'm not that high on Penn State. Wasn't before. I think Oregon is good. Listen, hear me. I'm not saying they stink. I just don't know how good they are. So I don't know. I don't have a prediction on that. To be honest with you, I'm just hoping Indiana can win, Nevada.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game. That'll be a fun. It's gonna be it's a action packed day tomorrow, and that's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Cool. So a couple more. Is Mateer playing? Is it official that he's playing against Texas?
I
Do you know?
I believe he is. Yes,
Okay. Okay. So the question is, how healthy is he? Because it's his hand, isn't it?
correct.
Okay. And is it his throwing hand?
I don't know.
Okay.
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. So that should be interesting. It's a rivalry game. We've seen things go either way. I know Texas is down bad right now, but it's a rivalry game. So I'm curious about this one just to see how it goes. But it does seem like things are trending for Oklahoma to win. But Texas down bad, back against the wall. Everybody picking Oklahoma. How healthy is Mateer? I don't know. But I'm going to go with Oklahoma in this one, Nevada. How about you?
I'm going with Texas. I think Texas. I'm gonna yeah, I'm a kind of a contrarian, and I think people are just. I think Texas is a lot better than people think. I think
They
they're
are.
better, especially defensively. And I don't think Oklahoma's all that. And I think tomorrow Texas finally steps up and plays like we think they're going to be the Texas team we thought they were. And I think they find a way to get it done.
I hope so, because I do think they're definitely not as good as the pundits projected preseason, but they're not as bad either. They just need to get that. Manning needs to get it together, and really, your boy, why am I forgetting the coach's name for
Which one?
Texas?
Sarkeesian.
Sarkeesian. Sark, yeah, he needs to really. How can I put it? He needs to get Manning in a place to where he can at least be efficient and just execute consistently. I don't know. He needs to do something, but that defense is still good. So, all right, let's do Scum, aka the team up north at USC. Okay. Now, again, I have never been Michigan should win, so the game will be highly ranked. I've never been that dude. I want them to go 0-11. Okay. So, and plus their fans right now thinking they actually have a shot at like the playoffs or at like anything legitimate this year is delusional. They need to go ahead and lose. Lincoln Riley was asked about, goof troop Sharon Moore's comments about, well, it's sold out because Michigan's coming to town. It's Michigan, we're coming. Like, shut up. No, it's not. Lincoln, get the win, man. Break out the game plan, stop the run, and get this win. If they can just keep the run game under control, and it's not even just about physicality. I know that's a big part of it, but it's about gap sound. USC, be gap sound. Stay in your gap, okay? And tackle. If you do that, you will win this game, Nevada. They have the quarterback and the firepower at home to pull this off if they can just play a little bit of defense. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I think they're gonna win, and I think look, Michigan's been really bad on the road. Obviously they got hammered by Oklahoma, barely got by Nebraska, a really mediocre Nebraska team in a game they should have lost. So I think that I think USC is good enough. I mean, USC lost by 2 at Illinois. In last second field goal. I think they can beat Michigan, and I don't think Michigan's going to be able to stop their passing attack. And I think USC is going to lay it on them.
I hope so. I hope so, man. Just beat them. They need to hold another L. They need to hold that L because they're just you obviously know what they are. They're annoying. All right. So that's all the games I really care about. Them other ones, whatever. We'll get to them. We'll watch. We'll see. But we got a couple super chats. Let's start out with Mike Green. What up, brother? Thanks for the $4.99. This is a little off subject, but I feel B. Ennis is taking the Emeka approach to come back for his senior year. Wide receiver 2 goes first round in that wide receiver room. What you think about that, Nevada?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I mean, it's an interesting point. I mean, I think that's probably very likely. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very, very likely. And Brandon's got to get going, man. He's got to get going. It's time. I mean, it's crazy how fast it's go. What are we almost halfway through the season? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so it's time. It'd be a good time for him to have a breakout game tomorrow and catch his first touchdown pass of the season. And like I said, he started to show signs of life the last couple of weeks. So I'm optimistic he can get it done. But no, I think that's a pretty I won't say chalky, but I think it's a very likely outcome for Brandis for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And I also, like I said earlier, I think he's going to catch his first TD pass. And I think I have a hunch. JJ Smith, the JJ Smith, best player in the country, endorsed Brandon Ennis in the interview. I know that's his teammate. I know that's his brother, but he has a reputation of just speaking facts or speaking really being honest. And I do think Brandon Ennis is better than what we've seen. Do I think he's just all world, take the top off the defense, first round pick? No, but I do think he's better than what we've seen. A part of it is lack of targets. I do have a feeling that he will be targeted more in this game. So we're going to see. I hope that's the case on tomorrow. And Johnny, Joe Idaho, thanks for the 199. Show your son. Not today. He's upstairs. I'm in the basement. He's like on the 3rd level. He probably playing Minecraft or something. Maybe next time I will grab him and bring him on the camera again next time because he's a young ham like me. He's cool with the camera. My daughter not so much. She's a little more shy, but my son he'll happily hop on the camera if he's available. So, but cool. But listen, Friday night we're gonna go ahead and bang out. We got an early one tomorrow. Early, as far as a noon game. Coming off of what last one was a night game, and then one before that was 3:30, right? So yeah, back to noon. So yeah, we're gonna wake up and not have much time to get ready for game day. So listen, love you, Buckeye Scoop family, Buckeye Nation. My prediction is 38-13. Nevada's is 31-17. Either way, Buckeyes win. All right. Go Bucks. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.